So welcome to Chimp on Cars. Today we've got a video on braking smoothly. Going to look at some techniques for braking smoothly, some explanation around what we mean by it as well, and towards the latter part of this video we're going to set up a camera so you can see actually what my feet are doing to brake smoothly. You can see here in the middle I've got a visual aid to help me with this. I recorded this video a few minutes ago without a visual aid like this, and it did look a bit naff. It don't really come across on the video too well, so this will help you to see when I am and when I'm not braking smoothly. So for example, this junction here, I'm not going to brake smoothly, I'm going to brake a little bit of a jolt at the end there, and you can see my wedding ring go for a little bit of a movement about, and another one there because I couldn't see through the trees. And let's have a look. Right, we're safe now. So braking smoothly then, so we're going to look at some techniques for it. This will help me to get that point across, and let's get into it. So we've already looked there at an example of not braking smoothly. So that last junction then, what made that not smooth? Well, it was the fact that I came up to the junction and left the braking to the last few seconds and was braking quite heavily, and then we come to an abrupt stop. So we've got a lot of braking force going in, and then all of a sudden you've stopped and you've got no braking force, so you've got that sort of like rock back. So to counter that, we can use a technique to help us to brake smoothly. Let me show you what I mean by that. Particularly bumpy road this one, but I'm going to pick a point down there to come to a stop. There's nobody behind me, so I will indicate just in case someone comes up, because I'm going to be concentrating on other things. Okay, so when I'm braking in here, I'm going to actually come to a stop, and here I've just judged the braking. I've just eased off the brake a little bit as we're coming into a stop, and my wedding ring barely moved at all there. So that's the big difference. So we've got that sudden stop where we come to a stop and we get rocked back in our seat, the wedding ring goes a bit. That's an not a smooth stop, is it? That's an abrupt stop, and that's an uncomfortable stop, and if we was getting a job as a chauffeur, that would not be the type of stop we'd want to be coming to ensure we got the job as a chauffeur, for example. Okay, whereas this one here, I broke in smoothly, lifted off the brake as we was coming into a stop, and as a result got a reasonably smooth stop. So this is a technique not so much for your driving test, this is more of a skills video for after your driving test. For your driving test, you need to be braking reasonably smoothly, you know, not endangering other people. It's a safety test after all, isn't it, the driving test. So as long as we're not unsafe, then we're good enough. Don't have to be smooth. But once we've passed our driving test, you know, when you're with a passenger with people that are braking smoothly tend to give you more confidence, don't they? They seem to be looking well ahead and planning their journey better, and as a result you feel safer, it's far more comfortable, and there's also fuel efficiency, there's wear and tear on the car things as well, so you're saving yourself a bit of cash there too. So good for many reasons. Okay, let's just reiterate that one more time. There is a van behind me, so I'll definitely indicate this time. So I'm going to brake a little bit more abruptly this time because the van's a long way back. So if I just leave the braking to the last second and just keep my foot firmly on the brake as we stop, you can see the wedding ring there goes for a little bit of a spin. Let's pull away again, and if I brake in a little bit smoother, let's again indicate, because I'm not going to concentrate on the mirrors. So if I brake and I just ease off the brake a bit as I'm stopping, then we get less of a rock on there. Obviously we are stopping, we're going to get a little bit of a rock, but not so much. So that's the point that we're making here. It's got a car in front, I'm not going to pull away just yet. Okay, so we can achieve this then by forward planning, looking well ahead, seeing the obstructions before they become too much of an issue. They're stopping, fantastic. You know, the old hazard perception, looking well down the road, those sorts of things will help us to see stuff in time to become a smooth driver. Okay, then, so the technique then, I'm going to show you what my feet are doing through this in a second. So the technique then, it's a skill that will require practice. Braking gently and easing off the brake a bit as you're stopping. You still want to stop, like here I'm coming up to a junction, I don't want to stop half over the white line, do I? So if you're not already doing this skill, then you need to be practicing somewhere quiet so that you can master the skill like we've just done there. We've just come to a stop, don't think the wedding ring moved too much, and because I started braking maybe a bit further back than someone that's just passed their test might have done, then I still managed to achieve quite a nice smooth stop. And then the advantage of that with giveaway junctions is, of course, if we're coming into giveaway junctions smoothly and slowly, then we can look both ways more efficiently and often keep the car moving when it's safe to do so. So it helps us there too. Okay then, so let's have a look at what that looks like on our feet when we're doing this. So I'm just going to put in a stop here, rearrange the cameras. Okay then, so we've set the camera up so you can see my feet, see what's going on. So just to recap then, so to brake smoothly we have to ease off the brake a little as we're coming into a stop. So let me show you an example of that. Then we'll have a look at an example of not doing it smoothly, and then maybe one more smooth one just to make the point, and we'll be done with this topic. So let's indicate for the junction here. I'm just going to brake a little as we come into this. We'll come into a stop soon after this junction. I'm sure there'll be spaces to do that. Here we go, after these park cars. Okay then, so first one we'll do is a smooth one. So there's a car behind, going to let them know we're stopping. Okay, so I'm braking gently with my right foot there, clutch is going down. And you can see that as we're coming into a stop, I'm just easing back off the brake a little there, and that's about as smooth as you can possibly get, isn't it? So that was a nice smooth stop. You see how my heel is on the floor here? I can rotate between the pedals quite comfortably with my heel being on the floor. Let's get moving again. So having the heel touching the floor when you're braking just gives you that little bit of leverage. If you're going over a bump as you're braking, it helps you to still brake smoothly even though you've gone over a bump. It's if you're not doing it already that way, give it a try. As with all of this stuff, if you're not doing it already, practice it somewhere quiet. You notice the roads that I'm using today are reasonably quiet. They're good roads for practicing. You've got good roads in your area too, and you can practice this skill. So here we've got a junction, so let me brake abruptly for this. So the clutch is going down, so I'm going to brake quite firmly. I'm just going to keep my foot on the brake, and you'll notice there the wedding ring goes, and it was a bit of an abrupt stop there. So as I was braking, I didn't lift up at all, did I? I'd misjudged the braking, I'd broken too late to allow myself time to start lifting off. If I'd have tried to make that a smooth one, I would have overshot the junction. That's not a good idea, particularly when you can't see both ways, as was the case there. So that would have been bad. We don't do that. So that was an example of a harsh brake. So here we've got another junction coming up, so let me do it a little bit better on this one. It's an uphill one, so that makes it easier to misjudge the braking. So let me check the mirrors and indicate, set that so it's smooth. So clutch down, so I'm going to be braking now already, and as we come up to the line, just easing back off the brake a little, and there we go. We're safe, we're smooth, and that's what we're aiming for here in this video. So let me know in the comments if there's anything that you do on top of what I've discussed here to enable you to brake smoothly. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Even if you think it's a load of rubbish, let me know in the comments there. I can always delete them if I don't like your comment. And let's get the nations braking smoothly and lessening the wear and tear on their cars, saving a bit of fuel, saving a bit of money. At the moment, it's a popular topic, of course. So let's spread the word. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like if you did like it.